course, Jen, we've been talking about, of course, a major hurricane, or almost a major hurricane now in the Gulf of Mexico, but we had another big hurricane here within the last couple of weeks that was Gustav, and let's compare the two of them.
Yeah, we hate to compare them because everything's always different with each hurricane, but Gustav started about the same point coming off of Cuba that Ike did, but they're both taking different paths. Gustav went further north. It didn't spend as much time as Ike is going to over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, so we do think Ike has the potential to strengthen even more.
Yeah, Gustav had a little bit more dry air that it was kind of entraining into a circulation, may have weakened it a bit. I don't know that that's going to happen here with Ike.
Yeah, with Ike also something else we've been noting is the big pressure drop that we saw yesterday. And usually when pressure drops, the winds increase. That's how those two correlate. Now, yesterday we saw the pressure 963 at 5 o'clock. By 11 o'clock last evening, it had dropped to 944, but the winds had not changed too much. And the reason for that is because this is such a big hurricane that there's so many thunderstorms all around it that is just evacuating the air out and causing the pressure to lower. And just the winds the thunderstorms right around the center have not yet caught up. But we think it has the potential, and Jeff is going to talk more about that.
All right, let's talk a little bit about, and this is just a refresher to everybody here, particularly along the Texas Gulf Coast. And this is not a representation of the Texas coast. This is a hypothetical coast with a hypothetical hurricane. Well, let's say it's Ike. As Ike's center moves inland, wherever, and we think that'll most likely be here in Texas, we'll probably see most of the damaging winds and the peak effects, whether it be storm surge or wind or waves, right near where that center crosses the coast and just to the right of that, because that's where most of the strongest winds will be, and that's where the highest amount of water will be pushed in off of the Gulf. There'll be significant surge, though, and damage even farther to the right. Again, you have to remember the winds are on shore here as the flow around the hurricane, like this, counterclockwise, like it is around any low, but that'll be pushing the Gulf in on the right-hand side. To the left-hand side, the winds are offshore, so much less effects. There'll still be some gusty winds, but the surge really won't be that much of a factor, if any at all, because you're actually blowing all those strong winds away from the coast, whereas to the right of the center, they are onshore. So let's talk a little bit about Ike specifically. This is the path that we're looking at here, the projected path, probably coming in late Friday night or on into the early part of the day on Saturday morning. Anywhere from Houston down to Port Lavaca, again, that is where we're most likely to see the effects highest with Ike. The intensity, right now it is at a Category 2 with 100-mile-an-hour maximum sustained winds. We think that will increase at least to a 3. Potentially, it could go high as a Category 4. Jen?
Well, Jeff, Houston is in that cone.